So good evening everyone. So today I'm honored to be part of this event because I have been an entrepreneur, so it's always good to interact with the people who are aspiring to become entrepreneur. So it's good to share the knowledge because when we started, so we had very few such kind of events. So now we have keep attending these events and we get knowledge from the people who have failed, who have success. So there is a good opportunity to interact with the entrepreneurs. So today I will discuss about what is an idea and how important it is for an entrepreneur. So how we can build on that idea, how we can convert it into a B plan. What is an idea? So an idea could be anything. For example, we are facing problem in driving, so we can have an app drive you. We can have a problem of traffic, so we can book Ola, Uber, and share. And so this is something we find day-to-day activities. These are the things which we daily find. See, any problem is there. So an idea always starts from once we start finding a problem. So I would take my experience, how I found a problem and how I converted it into a B plan. But yes, we can keep option to other space as well, like could be Uber or anything. So anyway, so what is an idea? An idea could be anything which click in your mind. Okay, let's do this. Why not this can be solved in this way? So first of all, what comes in our mind is a problem. So once we find the problem, so that definitely there is an idea to solve it. So this is all about the idea. So how to build on this idea? So this would come later on. And how we convert into the B plan. So first comes the problem. So what we found in our space. So first let me explain you what Entrepreneurship does. So we basically once you open it, so it's a blog, but we do a lot of stuff over here. So like once you get into the Entrepreneurship, you will find that we do the certification program, we do the working, a lot of corporate training sessions, and we also teach the working professional at our office as well. So Entrepreneurship into the training the people to make them skilled. So what we found that we found that the people are getting job, but they are not getting growth. So the problem was that with the people was they want to have their own business. The problem was they want to have a career growth. The problem was they want to have something skills, they can become a self-employed as well. So this was the key major problem which we found from the different people. But our target consumer was same. So everybody wants to get a skill. So first we identify the problem that they want to get skills. So in our case, what we find that we thought that this is a problem and our job is to make them employable rather than an employee. An employee can get a job, but an employable can do anything. They can start their own venture, they can become consultant. They are employable. The people who love to do. Even you are buying a movie ticket, and some people after discussion can offer you a job. So that is employability. So that is something we thought that we will make people employable. So somebody who is already doing a job was also our target consumer because they wanted to have a career growth, they wanted to have their own business. First we wanted to understand whether we actually understand our consumer, because any student from the college can also be our consumer. Any person who is doing job is also a consumer. So what we decided that who is our target consumer. So it is also important to understand who is your consumer. Rather than getting a problem, it doesn't mean that we have defined it. We have to understand who is our target consumer so that we can be very, very specific to solve this problem. So what we found that our target consumer is the people who are working professional, who want to have their own venture, who want to get skilled and get promoted in their own job. So that was our target. And most important, you have to identify that what are the qualities of your target consumers. Suppose somebody is want to have water, so it doesn't mean you will start manufacturing water. Maybe somebody is looking for distillery or some brand or some kind of they want to have something which is stylish and all. So this is very specific to understand the behavior of the consumer. So in our case, we found that our consumer is something which is ready to pay us for the workshop, which is already doing a job because they want to grow in their career. Now it comes to whether we have a solution for this consumer or not. So if we do not have a solution, we have to find out the solution. So rather than understanding the problem, understanding the target consumer, then we have to understand, do we have the solution? If yes, whether it is valuable to the consumer or not. Because solution could be many, but whether it fits to my target consumer or not. In our case, we had a working professional who want to have their own business and want to get career growth. So we had a solution for them that we should share the practical knowledge which we gain in our day-to-day activities and impart those knowledge to the consumer. Rather than giving them any knowledge which is already they can access, we thought that we should provide them the practical knowledge to our consumers. So that is something you have to understand. That do you have a very unique solution, or do you have a solution which caters to your exact consumer which you are targeting? So the solution is something which you have to be very, very focused. And you come to know after doing a lot of experience, a lot of working on the consumer, then you will find the solution. So when we come to understand that, okay, this is a problem, this is a target consumer, this is a solution, then it comes to understand how to reach those consumers. So in our plan, when we are building on an idea, when we understand that, okay, this is a solution which we should provide, now we should understand what are the channels, how to reach these consumers. And we should also have, as an entrepreneur, understand whether the reach which we are having is good, cost effective or not. So we have to understand that, okay, this is our consumer, these are our channels, but we have to have a pause and then find out whether this reach, these mechanisms, these are measurable or not. It should not be like that you have a solution, you have a target consumer, and then you are just putting any kind of channel to reach them. So this is something very important. In our case, what we had a no disturbance strategy to the consumer, because our consumer was working professional, our consumer was a businessman who wanted to expand the business. So what we thought, we should start writing online. So we kept putting blogs on the Edufo show. So we had a lot of strategies. So that is a different part of discussion, that how we raised to 1 lakh subscribers in 2 months and all. That's a different story. But as an entrepreneur, you should understand how to reach them. So our strategy was no disturbance strategy. So then, suppose you did a lot of strategy over there. You wrote an email to your consumer. We did a lot of corporate training. We had a lot of people who were interested in joining our program. So we got these leads. So once we got these leads, so how to do them? We never called any customer. We just wrote an email. We just started writing on the blogs. The problem the people face. I would like to explain an example over here. For example, I went to a company, and the person is looking to grow their advanced Excel skills, because he is working on computer, he wants to speed up the work, his team wants to speed up the work. So HR asked me that, can you do an advanced Excel workshop? He said, yeah, we definitely can do. Then we met over there. So what we did, we started writing the information which we collected from the consumer. He said, these are the specific problems we face. We are not here for understanding the 100 trick ways to Excel. We just want to solve these 2 problems which my teammate do. So we started writing blogs on the simple task as well. So this was the way we started reaching these people, because Google was something which was our channel. The people were searching on Google that how to do advanced Excel, and we were writing the blogs on that. So this was the way we were reaching. Second way was the social media. We did a lot of Facebook campaigns and Pinterest and a lot of LinkedIn activities we did. So that was our strategy over there. But whether this is right or not, so what we did, we had we were not completely relying what we were doing. We were meeting the corporate trainers, other corporate trainers, taking their feedback. That was not the right way. What we thought, we take all the data which we had collected for last 1.5 years. We found, okay, this was the way we were having most of the reach from Google or the email campaign. So this way we strategize our channels as well. Whether the email campaign strategy was good, whether the social media, the Google AdWords was good. So as an entrepreneur, when you are writing a B plan, and when you are writing the channels, so you should always keep a pause. You should take all the things which you have done and streamline the process. Okay, I did these 5 channels to reach my consumer, and these 2 are my best way to reach consumer. So this is the way you have to take a pause. It is not that you are just working 24 hours a day and you are just trying to earn money and money. To make it to a BA plan, you have to understand, okay, this is my right channel, so that you can focus on that channel rather than giving a multi-direction. One thing I want to highlight, it happened with us as well. Once we are getting a lot of calls for the corporate training, and our office was always packed with the working professional on weekends. So we thought, are we doing the right way? Are we trying to become a next Akash or Fitji? No, we were not. So what we are trying to solve, we are trying to solve a very basic problem. We wanted to make people skilled. So what we thought, okay, take a pause, do something different, and then we decided to take all the surveys of the people who have taken our workshop. And we found a very good response. The people were happy. They said, okay, the workshop couldn't benefit in getting the promotion, but today they are very confident in doing the work. They speed up the work. So that was our agenda as well, to make them skilled. So what I'm trying to say, that take a pause from your business venture, understand what you have done in the last 6 months or 1 year, and then try to prioritize your channels, your strategies, your focus area as well. Now it comes to the uniqueness. When you did a lot of surveys, a lot of feedback from the people, and your own understanding of the business, Then you come to the uniqueness. Rather than getting that, okay, this is the app somebody is making, I can make this differential, this would not work. First you have to understand the target consumer, you provide them a solution, you take their survey, and then you understand, okay, this is something we can provide differently. Okay, this is something they wanted, but we are providing this thing. So this comes from the experience. Rather than getting Google search and all, you just implement in your own business plan. So uniqueness comes once you analyze all the data, analyze all the surveys, analyze all your experience. And then you provide a uniqueness to your service. And this is very important. You should understand what you are supposed to sell. It should be a right selling. It should not be the person is looking for example, in our case, the person is looking for 8 workshops and we were providing 6 months programs. So this is something very important. If our target consumer is working professional, if our target consumer is a person who wants to start their venture, they are very, very keen to start fast and all. So we have to customize the solution for them. So sell it right. You should understand what is the demand of the consumer. Accordingly, you should plan your strategy. Accordingly, you should plan your product as well. So sell right. In our case, we are selling the knowledge which we have gained. If somebody today asks me that how to come on the first page on Google in 2 weeks, I can provide a solution. Even I can implement it because that is something we do for the companies as well. So this is something we are sharing. So that was our product. We are sharing our knowledge. We are selling our knowledge, skills. So we were making the people skill. We have a lot of startup because consulting is something which is very essential for the startups. They cannot hire somebody who is very experienced. They cannot take everybody on payroll. So what they want the people like us who can consult for 15 days, who can make their people skilled and the way the business can move on. The time. Obviously the time is very important for every talking on. So we are selling our time as well. The cost. When cost comes to, it is very specific to Edu for sure. The cost comes to the hosting. Suppose we are having 1,000 users per day, so we have to take care whether they are working fine and online study material is there. So this is something very important. So the costing factor is important for an entrepreneur to measure as well. If they are going to be planned, they are going to pitch an investor as well, you will always ask you what are the costs associated with your venture. So hosting in our case was a cost, content is definitely a cost. We always focus on a quality content. So that is also a cost to us, and advertisement. We do Facebook campaign, Google AdWords and all. So these kind of costs should also be included in your business plan. The last and the most important thing which I found in your plan is feel your idea. You should be passionate enough that you focus on your vision and you feel that my idea is going to rock. This is something you should always keep telling yourself, your team and all. Because the moment you do not feel it, you will not execute it. So idea to business plan requires execution. The methods which we discussed were most on the execution part. But this is something very self-motivating for yourself. You should feel your idea. You should feel that, okay, 99 people say your idea is not for your. For example, take an example of Just Dial. When it started maybe in late 1990s, maybe around 1997. So everybody would be laughing what he is doing. Everybody is calling on phone and he is giving the information. But today it is everybody knows what is Just Dial. So this is something you should not focus on other. You should focus on your idea. You should feel it well and take it to your personal quality. For example, in our idea, if you want to make people skilled, if you want to share the knowledge, if you want to share the skills, we have to get the skills first, and then we can only share it. And we should feel it great when we are making other people skilled in the same domain as well. So that is something you should feel the idea. Okay, your idea is to make people skilled, so you should feel that idea. You should lead that idea. So in any plan, this is something very important for an entrepreneur to have it. If you are not passionate about your idea, if you are not going to die for your idea or doing a lot of work for your idea, it will not work it out. So any idea which clicks doesn't click in a day or 2 days or 3 days. It takes a lot of time and efforts. Someone somewhere is working constantly on that idea, and then it becomes a business plan.